Welcome back to Community Conversations. I'm your host, Steve Mantis, and my guest today is Wendy Landry, the mayor of Shuniah. So Wendy, you were talking about us here in the north as our local experts, really. And so one of the areas you were mentioning is our natural resources. Mining has always been one of the traditional activities. What's going on in that area, and what can we inform our upper levels of government in terms of how we should proceed in that way?
Well, I think that what I spoke about the task forces that we have in driving some messaging of what the needs are for the north, and that what we have on the radar. So we have a lot of mines that are on the radar that are going to be coming forward, and what we need to do is supply confidence to those corporations that we will have the energy available for them needed to bring those mines on board. And so the Energy Task Force has brought forward some solutions for the government to take a look at what the energy needs, predicted energy needs will be in this area to promote business development, economic development, and all the runoff from all of that happening. Again, we have natural resources in the Northwest that we could be helping all of our communities, Indigenous communities, First Nations, Métis, as well as our municipalities to be vibrant and sustainable.
So when we're talking about a new mine opening up, do we have discussion around that sustainability piece? Or is it whatever you can give us for the next 5-10 years, that's enough? Or do we kind of think about how it really interacts with our communities and builds that sustainable piece?
All encompassing, right? So we want to make sure that we are projecting the forecast needed for the energy piece so that we can give confidence to these companies to come here and do business. With that brings jobs. With jobs, people make money. When people make money, they spend money, they shop, they drive the economy locally, right? Mm-hmm. Other businesses want to come to town. They want to do business in this area. So it's just a driver. It's an economic driver on many parts. When you have people working, people come and live and stay here. When you have companies that are thriving, you have other companies that want to come here. So one just builds right on the other. So it's a very, very important that we continue the message with the province, with our outside part of our Northwestern Ontario Municipal Association, that we do have what we need to have here to bring this province and our communities to a different level.
But say we've got a mine opening up, so 100 kilometers from Thunder Bay. Do we say, let's start a little town there, or do we say, let's keep folks in Thunder Bay, as an example, or Atikokan or wherever, and do an in and out, like the bush camp idea or
right.
Whatever. Like, to me, that's part of the challenge. You look at Red Rock, when the mill closes down, there's a heck of an issue in terms of, okay, my house used to be worth,
right.
$100,000, now it's worth 10. Like,
well, I think we have to recreate ourselves. I think us as municipalities have to recreate ourselves in some degree. We were very reliant on the forest industry and the paper mills. And I think that, even in Thunder Bay, we are moving in a different direction with the Research Institute, with the law school, with the Northern Ontario School of Medicine, with the different opportunities that are coming forward. I think that I'm not sure that we should be developing more new municipalities. However, I think that we should be selling ourselves as to why we should live in these different areas closest to where the work's happening. People will go where their families are. People will just like species, we go back to where we're comfortable, where our families are, where our roots are, where our connections are, whether that's right into the city of Thunder Bay or surrounding communities. We would advocate for that.
So on more of a personal level, Wendy, so you've got your finger in a lot of pies here, raising 6 kids, which to me is probably the most important thing we do, is raise our children in a good way. What are some of those challenges and opportunities you're finding as a person active in their community and as a local politician?
One of the things that we always, from traditional teachings to my life at Union Gas, where we always make sure that work-life balance, and which gets kind of difficult with the day and age when we're connected all the time, whether it's cell phones, 24/7, right? So the balance really can be a challenge. Obviously, your family and your health comes first, and you take care of yourselves. And it's important for people to understand the human side to elected politicians. You don't get rich being a politician. You don't do it for the finances. You don't do the pay is not necessarily there in our positions. You know, if those are all transparent, you can look to see what people make as running in these small towns and some of our communities. And you know, it's positive intent. It's wanting to be part of change, and it's a desire to be a positive part of the decision-making process. And what drives us as politicians and myself is that ability to influence change in a positive direction. We want our communities to be safe. We want our communities to be healthy, to be sustainable, and to be vibrant. We all do. And we need to have strong people, strong voices to advocate whatever area that needs to cover. So it's a tricky balance sometimes. It means your calendar's very full sometimes, and it means getting away. So it means recognizing that you need to shut off, shut down. I need to practice that too. But at the same time, supportive family is huge. Our children and our spouses and our partners are not elected. They didn't ask to be in the spotlight. So sometimes when we're at the receiving end of criticisms or finger pointing, if you will, or whatever that happens to be, which people seem to be a lot more comfortable with these days with the social media stuff and all of that, we have to remember that behind our elected officials are families and our relatives, our moms and dads, our spouses, our partners, our children, who are also now exposed to that criticism, which can be very difficult for the people that are in our families that didn't run for election, didn't get elected, and didn't ask for it. So sometimes the challenge can also be is to balancing with our families. Hey, this is something that comes with the life of being an elected official, and having those conversations, and remembering that we do this because we're driven, we're motivated, and we really want to see good things happen to our communities.
Wendy, we're just about out of time. If people want to follow up and get in touch with you, what's the best way to do that?
My email address is, I'm always very open and approachable and accessible. And so my telephone number is public, as well as my email address. And I welcome anybody, any ideas or any thoughts, or just have a conversation about some of the topics that are out there. Sometimes people need more clarity coming into what the headlines say on the paper. And if they need more clarity or some more conversation, I welcome it.
Thank you so much, Wendy, for coming on the show. I want to remind our viewers that we've got a Facebook page called Community Conversations. As Wendy mentioned, we welcome your thoughts and feedback. Please check us out, share your thoughts and ideas, and we hope to see you again next week. Please stay safe.